Hey, welcome back, everybody. Mynor Ramos here, and I've got a special guest for you. I'm going to introduce him in just a minute, but I wanted to introduce Advanced Insurance Services. It is a conglomerate of many different aspects. I'll give you very briefly a little bit of my history. A few years in human resources as a human resources manager, 20 years in the mortgage banking industry, and as of lately in the insurance portion. But I'm joined by Michael Domico, who has a very interesting resume. Michael Domico, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Well, Mynor, thank you. I appreciate being here. And I think what people ought to know is this is a collaboration between Mynor and myself. Mynor doesn't say enough about himself, so I will tell you he is an extremely interesting professional, and I'm extremely honored and pleased to be able to be with him. Just to touch on AIS and what this is all about, how it came to being. And to be perfectly frank, we're not sure whether it's going to be, advanced insurance services or advanced insurance strategies. I've had feedback from a number of people that like strategies better, but we'll see. Doesn't matter. It's all nomenclature. What does matter is that we're going to be comprised of three professionals: Mynor Ramos and mortgage banking, as well as speaking and coaching. Josh Collier, who's going to be coming in on the coaching side of what we're really doing, and myself in the insurances and just general financial planning. For myself, I started in 1971. I was a debit agent. Most people have no idea what that is anymore. But these were the people, men and women, who actually went around house to house and collected premiums on people's insurance and serviced them. I started in the Wheeling, West Virginia area, so I had mostly coal miners and steel workers as my clients. And to say I learned the business from the basement floor up would be a huge understatement. I was familiar with the industry because my dad was in it. He was an agent with Prudential for many years. And I wanted to make sure I could learn the business so that I would be able to work with my own father, and had the pleasure of working with him for many years. What I learned, and this was partially what my father taught me, was that the only difference between working with the owner of a business or working with the employees of a business is the number of zeros. As a matter of fact, as he would always say, for the lower paid people and the people who were trying to literally just hold a family together financially, insurance and the services that we were able to render were probably far more valuable, because a lot of people didn't have the resources that people with a higher income could have. And of course, he was absolutely right. So working with people on my debit, and then working with what's called ordinary insurance, the working class clients, and then working into the business areas, I got to see all of the aspects of the industry. And met Mynor about 3 years ago, I guess now, and was very impressed. And when we had the opportunity, finding out that we were both moving to Tennessee at the same time, almost to the day, we decided that why spit in the wind? Fate was putting us together, and our collaboration is how AIS was conceived. Josh Collier is a little bit younger in the business, and he is an up-and-coming star, to say the least. And he's on the coaching side. How do we help other professionals to appreciate what we can offer, and then be able to offer them things that will propel their career and benefit their clientele. That is the origin of AIS.
And ideally, maybe the only other, the second type of client, or the second type of person would be, somebody who is looking into maybe some different ways of redirecting their capital and some other some other areas. So you were talking about the professional. Can you talk now about the client base?
Sure. Thank you, Minor. Client base is very simple. We're going to be looking at three specific areas, and they sort of merge. There's no definite, well, if you're 46, you're in this block, this block of people, and if you're 45, you're in this. However, we are looking for people who have at least started a profession, a career, not just doing a job for income. And the reason I use that type of nomenclature is that most people who haven't found where they want to settle in their own career may not be ready for some of the services that we can render. One of the things that I think people, especially in my area of expertise, and that would be insurance, the mistake they make too often is trying to put people in a position that they really don't fit in financially or mentally. I have a very firm belief that insurance should not be a burden on your income. You shouldn't be working hard to pay insurance premiums. That's crazy, okay? If you have an amount of insurance that's correct for your family and meeting the needs of your family, it should also meet your financial needs and affordability.
Yeah.
So the specific areas we're looking at are going to be what we call advanced, a little bit more complicated in some cases, maybe more expensive. But these are people that have goals over and above just basic life insurance. So that's where we start. And a random age group would probably be somewhere around 40 to 45 and up. And three specific areas that we'll be looking within that time frame, or in that age group, I should say, are going to be, first of all, infinite banking. And I'll come back and define that a little better. OPM, which is other people's money. And then the third would be life settlements. So infinite banking, in a nutshell, to keep
Mike,
it very simple.
Yeah, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover that. We're going to go specifically into it. But
Okay.
I wanted to thank you very much for that explanation. I wanted to move into, once you have those three pillars, we cemented with the legacy planning, which is, really the fourth pillar that we're going to be integrating.
Excellent.
And you could actually say that the coaching is really the fifth pillar of all of it. But as we go through, this was a really good introduction to advanced insurance services. And then we're going to be putting links in the videos about each specific one, including the webinar that's going to be coming, that's going to put it all together. So for now, thank you guys for watching. Michael, thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.